To me, that was insanely magical, right? It was transforming itself from a mainframe hardware business to a software and services business, right? Still mainframe drove most of the revenue. All my projects were on mainframe systems, right?
Yeah.
And it was funny, while I was in the IBM cocoon, things were happening like Microsoft and Apple that I was just not in tune with, right? I was unaware. So IBM was transitioning into software. And that's why I was frustrated, because it's like, if you're going to sell software, in fact, I wrote a business plan about this. Like, I got thrown into a branch office that was all sales. And I had, like I said earlier, I had zero sales training, but I knew how to build. And I went to my manager. I said, look, we can't sell this software with foils. And I don't know if you know what foils are, but they're clear pieces of paper, basically, that you would then run through the copy machine or printer machine. Actually, it was a copy machine that would take your prints that you put in a program and build slides. And you'd show them on an overhead projector.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can't sell software this way. You got to show it. So I wrote a business plan to buy a PC. It was a portable computer. It had an orange screen. I could probably show an image of it if I had one up. And then it had a case with wheels. So that was like a $10,000 piece of equipment.
That's how
And
you
so I
did your
had to
sales
write.
pitches?
Yeah. So what
Ru-
I
ru-
did, I had the branch manager, Michelle Collins, great person. She would always kind of, everyone in the sales office would see me with this computer, and all day I'm like programming my product that I put on the IBM bulletin board system, and then they productized it. But they were like, they'd come over and go, what are you doing? I'm like, programming. And so I had this computer, and I worked with the IBM lab in Raleigh that had a special card that you would stick into it that would emulate the mainframe operating system. And at the time it was a VM operating system, and I could run everything on that machine. And to me, that was insanely magical, right?